All right, so there's only one small issue. It's wet in here. Outdoors family. It's your girl Brittany. Just getting off work. Cameras were being set off today, and I am under the impression that they're working on this drywall. It looks like it was only 2 dudes that was inside today, so we're gonna go check that out. They also had some guys that came to start on the awning, to fixing the awning. I'm not sure if they were able to get that done because it started pouring down. So we're gonna check that out. Like I said, it's raining, so I'm gonna try to beat this storm that's supposed to come through. All right, so I don't have any umbrella, but that's okay. Now you can hear the roar of the thunder a little bit in the background. I don't want to be in the way. Just want to check to see what's going on. So I need to hurry up, do this real quick. But let's see the awning. They're getting the arms here, and that's the 4x4. Back up. Try not to get my camera wet, but also so you guys can kind of see. They're not done. Like I said, it started raining a ton, so they had to get out of here. Hopefully we'll have an update tomorrow on this. Outdoors family. Y'all, let me tell y'all, it was 2 dudes hanging this drywall. Just 2. They work harder than 6 men. They are finished with hanging the drywall. They do got to come back so that they can mud and sand, but the hanging, they're done. And when I tell you, pictures and videos don't do justice what you can see with your eyes. So I'm opening these doors because I'm about to let y'all see and make sure I don't put no hole in this wall. All right, y'all. So the doors are open and you can already see what this looks like. I'm glad we did stick with keeping removing the header up here and just letting the foyer flow straight into the great room. Oh, that's amazing. Dining room. Look at this, is just, it's beautiful. It's huge. Like you can finally see the defined spaces of the rooms. Like I thought what I was saying was just the bones, you know, the stud showing, but having this drywall up, man, you can really see. And then of course, that's a, you know, the little hall closet in the foyer. And then this is the great room. Man, I just don't know what to tell y'all. This is amazing. This room is bigger than what it was looking like. We knew it was going to be big because we've seen a house this plan already built before. But yeah, this is hitting. This is hitting. This fireplace is going to be right there, as y'all already know. So I'm going to turn a little bit. And of course, there's the kitchen area. I'm at a loss of words. At a loss for words. Of course, this is where the sink is going to be. And this is the area where the coffee bar is going to be. That wall is actually going to be, that cabinetry is actually going to be pretty big on that wall. Bigger than what I thought. And then this is the pantry. Oh, stepping all over stuff. The pantry's right here. Of course, there's no light in here. No windows in here, so it's a little dark right there. I'm gonna walk over to these extra bedrooms. There's stuff all over on this floor in here. But this is bedroom 2. I'm amazed. At a loss of words. This is bedroom number 3. This one is bigger than that front one. And that closet, man, that's pretty big. I can actually see or feel where, you know, the bed can go in this room. This is a very surreal experience. Like I said, we walked in a house that was being built like this, but it's different when it's your own. And I couldn't be more happy and blessed. I just don't know. I'm about to take y'all back around so you can see my office a little bit and my son's bedroom. All right, so now I'm walking back towards my office. It's dark in here because I don't have a window, which is kind of the only little downside, but there's plenty of space. In a second, I'm gonna show y'all something. But this is our son's bedroom. He gonna have plenty of space. He think he gonna get a bunk bed, but that boy gonna be bigger than me by the time the summer's over with, so that bunk bed is about to be out of the question. Here's his bathroom. That's nice, nice. I forgot what they call this, but that's what you put up behind the wet areas in the bathroom to keep the walls from mildewing. So yeah, and then this is his closet. All right, so I'm gonna take y'all through here. Of course, this is the closet, our hall closet, linen closet. About to give you whiplash, but in here this is the laundry room / mud room. That space is wider than what I thought it was. So if I did want to come back in the future and add in like a cabinetry, base cabinet on this side, it had to be further down here away from the door, but I had a room to actually do it. I wasn't really entirely sure, but looking at this space now, I'll be able to add something right there if I wanted to. And then of course that's the water closet, hot water heater. And then here's our bedroom. Yeah, there we go. Yep. Come on in here. Try to get it from the other side so y'all can see. But yeah, that's the bedroom. And then that door right there leads to my husband's closet. There's so much stuff in here I'm stepping on. And then this is the bathroom. Shower. Tub. And of course my closet is over here. You know, there's no light in there right now, so it's dark. And then that's the vanity area over here. and then the water closet. Got a window in the water closet, so you won't be scared up in there. All right, so there's only one small issue. It's wet in here. It's just in one area. It's crazy because with the roof and it's rained and we have not seen a lick of water in here since they finished insulation and the roofing. And then when I came in here today, the guys were finishing up hanging the drywall. It's like, you may want to call him to let him know that it got wet in here. So let me show y'all where it is. So this area down here along the baseboard, that's in from the great room down into my office. It's wet. They hadn't put the sheetrock in this area yet. When they came in, it was wet. So our assumption and calculation is probably the water's coming from the chimney because it isn't all the way, sealed up right. Because it's only wet right there in that one spot. And we know it's not a water pipe because it would still be water would still be running. So we've already checked that. So the super is going to be here early in the morning. I wish he would have come today because we're supposed to get rain tonight. And we don't want the water to ruin this drywall that they've hung. So I'm hoping that it doesn't rain too hard tonight so that he can check that out. And I'm thinking they need to do some type of prevention over the chimney. It looks like, if you look up in the fireplace out on the porch, it looks like it's like capped or covered, but water's getting in somewhere over there because they're not finished with that part. But we don't need the water destroying what they done, because it looks like they ordered just enough drywall. They've used every little bit that they had, and we don't want them to delay. So that's the only issue we have right now. Other than that, it's looking beautiful. Cannot wait for them to start mudding and sanding. Ideas are already starting to pop. Dollar signs are starting to go ching 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 ching. Ready for me to go buy some stuff. I ain't got nowhere to put it. But this is definitely helping me to make some decisions as far as decor, how to set up the couch that we already got, and any additional accessory type things like pictures, a coffee table, rug. So yeah, it's giving me ideas. All right, so it is another day, family, and the superintendent, he did come down this morning. He got on the roof. He went in the attic. He said he didn't see any water, anything wet in those areas. He also cut out a piece of the sheetrock. He said the studs weren't wet. So he had no idea where the water came from. But like I said, we pretty much told him we think it came from the chimney because it's not capped yet. So he was like, well, what we'll do is when it rains, we'll see again. But my brother did come, and he works for a roofing company. So he got up there and he looked. He was like, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with the roof where, water could be intruding in there. He said he thinks it's from from the chimney as well, because it was water at the top where they have like a piece of wood or something up there. So it got really windy the other night in combination with the rain. So it might have blew itself down in there. So, I mean, that's a positive sign. Just hope that we don't get the wind like we just recently got and be blowing in there, because we're currently getting drywall done. Yesterday they finished hanging the drywall. Now they are mudding and taping. So I'm gonna go try to peep in here to see what it looks like. All right, so they are gone for today. They're finished. They have mudded and taped. So the next step is to let it dry. So I'm pretty sure there's nothing gonna be going on tomorrow. And then they'll probably come back in and sand and potentially repeat the process. I'm gonna turn this around so y'all can see what we get to see. Don't mind the mess. Just look at the walls. This is really shaping up to be more than what we envisioned. Way more than what we envisioned. I said it was 3 people today, and they got here about 10 o'clock, and they worked. They did all of this today, as far as the mudding and the taping. They were, on the stilts. Everybody working together. And this is like more light today, and it's slightly cleaner than what it was yesterday, so you guys get a better view. So this, of course, is the kitchen, and then the great room. This is crazy. So I just want to make sure that y'all can see everything. Just the size of these rooms is crazy. But yeah, I'm not gonna go through the whole house just yet, because I went through it yesterday so you could see the size. But it feels lighter and cleaner in here today, and I think it's probably because we have more light today and it's less clutter in here. But it's shaping up to be T. I'm clocking that T. So we'll check back in tomorrow to see how it's drying. Not gonna touch anything. And then we'll pick it back up when they come back. And like I said, I would assume that they'll be sanding some of this stuff down, and then they'll probably have to reapply. But we'll catch up. We'll catch you guys back up once they return to do more work. But man, you can't beat this view behind me. The studs did not do it justice.
Ever need a boost, count on me for the 1-2. Trouble don't last when the tough get going. Baby, I'll be